All right, guys, moving right along with the Atc125 missile build. I showed you guys this already. This is my junk XR200 swing arm. I got some rectangular stock tubing I might end up using somehow over here. Also found a couple sprockets. These might be too small. You know, you got to build that little jack shaft back here, but these sprockets are actually kind of smaller than the thickness of the swing arm. So I might have to order 2 of these a little larger and, you know, just build something back here. Then I got a thing I've been showing you. I started building a disc brake conversion for this, but jumping around a little bit. You could see how much wider this is going to be. So my idea, just to get the ball rolling, is I'm going to cut this off, and then I'm going to cut the swing arm there and there, and then just kind of start messing with it. I might just put that piece across like that, tack it together, and then, you know, see what I'm going to do from there on out. All right, guys, no turning back now. So I cut off all the crap, like I said, pulled off broken chain guard, and I got the hub mounted in there. And I got it once again on 1, 2, 3 blocks, so it's nice and even. Put this piece under both arms for now, and just kind of messing around with some ideas. You know, I was looking at doing that and then kind of boxing it back together, but I think I need to add a little bit, like maybe about 2 inches to the length. The problem is, this is the tire I'm using, and it's 22 inches. So if I grab my tape measure here, and I measure 11 inches, half of 22, right? This is where the sprocket is going to go, right on the outside edge here. And that runs me just about to the swing arm, but I think I'll clear. The tire is narrower than that. What I'm worried about is getting those sprockets in there. So basically, I'm gonna have to cut off this. You can see it's kind of like double walled at this point. So just gonna cut this off, and then I'll probably end up like fish plating the outside of this to add a lot of strength back to it. But if I cut this off here, I think somewhere in this area I should be able to get my sprockets. Just to give a quick idea, you know, one's gonna go in there somewhere. That's gonna line up with the chain on the engine. And then, you know, the other one is going to be like in this area, and that'll line up with my rear sprocket. Yeah. I'm just doing a little mock-up here. I measured the rims coming out. They end about there. Just a sprocket I had laying around. Might end up being able to use this. It's 46 tooth. I'm not positive. This tire, like I said before, it's actually the same exact outside diameter as the XR200 tire, guys. So in theory, if I keep these 1-to-1, meaning these 2 sprockets the same size, I probably could go with the same gearing that the XR200 had, although it's a smaller motor, so might want to gear it down a bit. But, you know, I try to use what I have laying around. So anyway, that sprocket, once I make the hub, will end up right there. Just trying to come up with some alignment here. Nothing's lining up as to be expected. You know, I cut this off. This is kind of like what I'm going to start filling in, but I'm going to end up cutting this back to here to where the side of the swing arm is still straight. And then what I'm going to try to do is see if I could take this piece, flip it around, and kind of mess with the fitting in here and see if I like it. And this side, I'm more or less going to come straight like this and then curve right into this side. So now that'll give me a nice spot right here where I could make up, you know, 2 bearing mounts and a shaft and the intermediate sprockets. So let me get this cutting. I'm going to cut this off camera quick, and then I'll throw it over there. We'll just mess around with it a little. All right, so this is the piece. I shortened it down a little and cleaned it up. Seems to be a nice fit right in there like that. I'm gonna leave on this side right here. I'm gonna bump it in just a hair because I'm gonna need to run a plate from there to here. This is just kind of like gonna be the middle of it. It definitely fits well. And then I'll do the same thing on the outside because I have to run a plate from there to this outside edge. And then obviously fill in. I have to make like triangulated pieces and box it all together. But that's going to look great when it's done. Now on this side, put that piece of rectangular tubing, fits in here perfectly. Just gonna extend this straight like I said. And then this was the little piece I cut off of this. I kind of mock that up. And I'm gonna end up fitting that in there. Like that, guys. Sorry, my hand is semi-blocking the camera here. That's gonna fit like that. Then I'm gonna plate this and install my bearing. One bearing will go in here. Not sure how I'm doing that yet. If I'm gonna, you know, turn something in the lathe that could fit the bearing. These are the bearings I'm using. So just to give you an idea, the one bearing is gonna go like that. And I might just do that. I might just machine or turn, like I said, just something bigger, weld it onto that and make it like a slight press fit into there. And then this plate that's coming out like this, I'll probably just make it come out and box it into here. And then I'll make 2 bolt holes with the little bracket coming off. And then that's where my little intermediate sprocket jack shaft thingy-mabob is going. Well, it didn't work out exactly as planned, guys. This piece is really nice. I got that one tacked in. I just put one tack on this side. This way I could still kind of twist it and turn and everything. I marked the center line here, and the center line here is just slightly offset from the hub, and you know that's because the 2 center halves of the rim have to mount there. So the center, I'm sure, is in between those. Anyway, listen, this stuff doesn't have to be NASA, you know, accurate, guys. It's just going on a old school dirt bike here, fat tire, fat cat, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, try to get my center line as best as I can. I got this laying on a couple more V blocks in the front so I could keep it nice and solid to the bench and nice and level with the back. The back I got on a 1, 2, 3 blocks, like I showed you guys earlier. This little piece that I was so happy about is not going to work out. When I set this straight, I want this perpendicular to this, and this just doesn't reach. So just made tacks. I'm going to cut it out. I'm basically going to try to tack most of this together and, you know, just leave this open, leave that. I get it all tacked before I fit it on the bike, because stuff like this, guys, you have to change a lot as you go. So I don't want to fully weld it and then I have to go back and just, you know, chop the thing to shreds. But, you know, you guys will catch on as you do more and more of this work. So basically I'm just going to cut off these little tacks, and then I'll probably cut this guy somewhere here and then cut some small pieces and just, you know, make my filler pieces.